Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ekai Tugera. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm just going to be having a chit chat. I haven't done this kind of video in like forever. Like, when I started my channel, I just think I want to say this and I'll just say it. So it's going to be a chit chat. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to say in the rest of the video, but it's basically going to be about how life, how like you think your life is going to go well and then like things happen, things like 2020. Where will I even start from? I don't know. Like, this is this kind of video. I didn't script anything. I just said I'm just gonna do a video on life. So like, how when we all grow up we just think like life is like a straight line, like a straight road, right? Then you grow older and then like things just so like, but then you just like go with the flow, like this is 2020 and it's overwhelming really to live in this year. It's really overwhelming, even for people who just try to like be badass and just like, no, this is me, I don't want to, it's not affecting me. But then it's really overwhelming. It's overwhelming in that, sometimes, like the other day I was already feeling sad about something, then I switched on my phone and went on Twitter, and then everything else was just so sad. It was so sad that I started feeling sad, like my heart even just started feeling sad, like it's me. And and then the worst thing that happened was, how right now we're just dealing with all this Black Lives Matter issue. And then other than that, I started reading a book, because obviously I want to be educated, I don't want to be ignorant, right? I want to know where all this started from. I want to know about where we started from, colonialism and all those things, knowing our roots and stuff. So I read a book called Houseboy, and then that was like that. It made me worse. Like, it made me just feel worse. It made me feel like I was in this situation where I'm thinking, I don't know what's like, I'm trying to think of like what's the best way for us to sort this out, because this is something that has happened for years. This is for us to get where we are. Most of the issues that we are facing, they've happened for years. So most of the things that we're facing are things like racism. We're dealing with corruption as well. We're dealing with bad leadership in Africa, in Zambia as well. So all those kinds of things. And when you read up, you realize that these things just took a while for us to get to where we are. And then there are systems that are there, systems that are bigger than us individuals, but then if we come together and we work on this like together, that's something that we can actually work on like together. I don't know, am I making sense? So like, let's deal with the issue of like Black Lives Matter. And I was reading Houseboy, and I've read other books like Half of a Yellow Sun, and I'm still going to be reading more books just to understand colonialism and understand racism and all these kinds of things, and just get educated and see what part I can play so that I can foster change. So I was reading the book, and I was just looking at the mistakes that we made as Black people and the mistakes that they made as the white people. And then like, we all like just like, because I don't know, the white people came selling this thing that was just not what it was. Obviously they wanted like raw materials, they wanted cheap labor, and they just didn't see themselves as, they just saw like Black people were just not as human as they are. It's like they're there, then the Black people, then animals, and then they just treated those people as that. And then with the Black people, they just thought, oh, these are the people who have come to kind of like save us, because you'd see people who just like strip down everything that they believed in. Like, they just put away everything just so that they can try out this new thing. So that's that. I'm still reading up on that, and honestly, it's something that's really hard to talk about, and it's something that's really hard to even read about. But then it's something that we need to do. It's something that we all need to do. Like, we all just need to get educated about these things, because if you don't get educated about these things, then how are you going to play your role. You know, how are you going to do something about it if you don't read about it, if you don't research about it? So it's really been a heavy time. I've been taking time to just read and try understand what happened in different countries as well, like in the French countries, in the English, like the English-speaking countries which were colonized mostly by Britain, those that are colonized by the French, and just different aspects. And like there's certain things that just stand out, and to just see how we got to where we are, where we have this freedom. That's not really like complete, but at least we have a bit of that freedom. So I just wanted to read up on that. That thing I've been reading up on is African leadership and stuff. And I did a video last time about, we had a conference, the Africa Youth Network Movement, and there were a lot of aspects that we highlighted, and we talked about politics. We talked about how you don't really have to be even a politician to foster change, and how you can also be that person who just fosters change, right? And we talked about how the problem in Africa is a leadership problem. And you see that that leadership problem is not necessarily built from what? From like, oh, now that this person is the leader, this person just wants to be corrupt. It's the same thing I always say, like, we try, sometimes we don't deal with corruption at basic level and we just want to deal with it at a higher level. So it's something that people have even normalized. I gave an example. I've always given an example of, like, you know, when there's a party. I don't know how many people have experienced this, but when there's a party, then we have chicken and we have all those kinds of things. You find that somebody will just stash some chicken aside. That's more like being greedy, right? And that could easily turn into money when you're in a higher office. You just stash chicken aside, you know, and it's like for really no big reason, because it's already cooked, then you have to just eat it later and stuff like that. Then there's also issues of nepotism, where you want to give your friends the best. You know, you don't like just be like, oh, let me keep this for this person, let me keep this for this person. Then there's also tribalism. Sometimes some people, if they say the person who's saving is a certain tribe, then they'll just shout in their tribe, and then that person will give them like nicer food or more food. And these are things that we need to deal with, like in the home, you know. Then now we get to the bigger issue. Like it's really complicated. And then the other thing was how, yes, we got freedom and everything, and now a lot of people are speaking about this, which I agree with, because the freedom that we got was not really complete, because, you know, we got this freedom, but then we said, okay, we've got our freedom, but can you give us your systems so that we can use your systems? So obviously they know their systems better, and then they'll be like, oh, we'll teach you our system so that you can use this system. So we got freedom, but then we still depended on them to teach us their system. I don't know, am I making sense? Yeah. Then other than that, what else? Oh, there's the names that I think now a lot of people are addressing. Like, you know, we had our own chiefdoms where we're naming stuff, and then now things just, you know, it's a lot. Like, my mind has been overwhelmed trying to read about all this and trying to just educate myself. Trying to get educated has really been overwhelming, because it's really sad, and sometimes you feel like you're helpless, especially as an individual. But you realize that it's not just you who's trying to make things better, but like there's a whole lot of other people who are trying to make things better, and that's something that we can do for ourselves to make ourselves better. Yeah. Then now let's come to our personal lives, which have also been hectic. Like, I think, I don't know, but a lot of people have just been affected. Like me, I've been affected job-wise. I've been affected with business, and not only that, even just this like fear, especially that I'm a woman and I'm black. So there's just like this thing that you just keeps on thinking, you know, there's so many fights for women, there's fights for black people as well, and this is just who I am. And one of the ways I've always said, like, even with women, inspiring women empowerment, I've always said, like, one way I want to inspire women or help women is not just to talk about it, right? Not just to say women should be empowered, this and that, but then to also just play the part. So that's why I always try to just like be an inspiration. I don't know how I can say it. Be an inspiration, or just try to to show other women, because like, yes, I know a lot of people, we've already crossed the certain bridge, and a lot of people just feel like what I can do, what a man can do, I can also do. But then there are still other people who are just not at that level yet, and people who just believe that, you know, they're just not free to just be who they are because maybe they are female. Then there's, yeah, you know, just being black and just excelling and all these kinds of things. And that's one of the things that I try to do with my YouTube channel as well, just to like be like black excellence. I think black excellence is one thing that we can use to put it out there. I don't know, am I making sense? I'm just ranting. But yeah, so this is the kind of video I just wanted to do, just to talk about natures affecting us and just life. Like, you know how sometimes life, they say when life throws lemons at you, you should turn those lemons into lemonade. I think that's one of the things that we need to do. Like, there's just so much going around. There's a lot of stuff going around. So like, just try to see how in all this you can still try to be what, happy. I don't know, like, you know, sometimes certain things when you say them, you even be like, am I saying the right thing? But yeah, like, just try to be happy. Try to also take care of your mental health. Like, the other time I really almost had a mental breakdown because I was already going through something personally, and then there's all this going around as well. So if you need to shut down, like just shut off from social media, you can do that. And also the other thing is that sometimes people just are really turning into bullies, you guys, on social media, and some of the things they say, they may think it's so some of the things they say okay, so there was a car passing, I was like, will they bash us? Anyway, so like, you know, sometimes people say the same things that people say, just think they don't really go a long way. But that's something that goes, like, you don't know who's behind the phone, who's behind the camera. And sometimes people are just there, like, even when it comes to fighting for different causes, sometimes people will be like, why are you not being loud enough? Why are you not? But then you don't know what people are dealing with. And I don't think, for me, I feel like sometimes that also just, because, you know, this person, maybe they are doing something, and because someone says that, oh, you're not loud enough, and they'll feel like they're not doing enough. Does that make sense? Yeah, but they feel like they're not doing enough. But then maybe they are doing something that maybe you cannot see. Like, not everything that people do is on social media. So some people are fighting through prayer. I don't think that should be discussed. There are people fighting different ways, and people have got different strengths and all that kind of thing. So yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is, like, you know, with creatives. So creatives are like content creators, musicians, stuff like that. Like, it's really, this is like one of the hardest times, because every time something happens, some people want you to say something about it. And like, in that's how some people just end up saying the wrong things, because like, when some people are gifted, like, once something happens, they find that maybe it's something that they understand very well, or it's something that they can relate with, like on a personal level. But then not everyone is like that. And I've seen that sometimes people just end up feeling so bad for not saying anything, that, you know, like, you just feel like, what am I even doing? Should I just stop being a creative because I can't speak out on each and everything that's going on? But like, you know, it's important to just, first of all, educate yourself, because the people who are following you, the people you are creating content for, they deserve accurate information. They just deserve like the real thing, you know. So I think it's good that even when something happens, when there's that just a flow of information and stuff, that you take time to just research on what's happening and find the best way in which you can communicate to the people around you, the best way you can communicate to your followers or subscribers, and how best you can incorporate that into your content, and not just because now we are talking about this, let me say something about this, and I've seen lots of people who have actually been harmed by that, because they just want to say something in the moment, they end up saying the wrong thing, you know, they end up not saying stuff that's misinformed, they end up saying just things that are not informed. So it's important, even as a creative, that, you know, you don't just get pressure, just breathe, relax, read about it, and when you feel like you understand, when you feel like yes, now I can do something in relation to this, then you can do it. Yeah. So yeah, that was my all over the place video, which I like because this is just me. This is how I talk. Okay, I don't even talk about. I rarely talk about serious things like this. So this is important to me and to you guys. These are conversations I try to have with my friends, and sometimes we don't agree and they argue with me, but then now I'm on camera, so no one can argue with me. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe. Why am I feeling like, because I was talking about deep stuff, now I'm trying to come back. So yeah, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends, and then just let me know in the comments down below if you relate with anything that I've said, or if you want me to do another rant all over the place video like this one. I can do another one like next quarter, last after I do a bit more organized content. Thank you for watching. Bye.